And it's time for another Salmonella Academy reaction here at Hypetrain. Not Kevin Dave Reacts, that's our other channel. I nearly said Kevin Dave Reacts. Yeah, we have another channel called Kevin Dave Reacts, a music channel, a little thing growing quite well. It's well above 15,000 subscribers now. I'll leave a link in the description.
Yeah, if you like watching us do this, you might like us watch music. So.
Yeah, playing music reactions over our music reaction channel. But no, this is a history one. We'll be sticking with some history because we do enjoy the history as well. But no, this is obscure. Obsolete Inventions. We believe this is one we haven't covered so far because we don't recognise the title, and I don't know how many more Salmonella we've got to do, but I think we've got a few more because we like Salmonella.
Yeah, we'll try and put them in every now and then. So
yeah, we enjoy it. So no, subscribe, notification bell, that sort of palaver, and let's go for it.
Hey kids, if I learned anything from my middle school career, it's that what may seem like a good idea initially will often be remembered only as a foolish mistake. Here's a few pieces of technology from yesteryear that have since fallen into total obscurity. So I've always believed that there's no point in having many small things when you can have one big thing. Why have many shrimp when you can have one lobster? Why drink many glasses of milk when you can eat one udder? Why have many cheese-its when you can have one cheese-them? Patent pending. And why have many street lights when you can have one moonlight tower? These guys were real popular back in the 1880s and 90s, often standing at over 150 feet tall and illuminating several blocks from a single point. Not very well, mind you. Matter of fact, they were so dim, we didn't even have the conscience to just call them light towers. Had to go and stick the moon on the front so people didn't get their hopes up. But thanks to our good old friend, the inverse square law, you still needed a fuck ton of light to pull this off. So they used incredibly harsh and UV-emitting arc lights instead of incandescent bulbs. All the light of the moon and all the vision damage of the sun, talk about a win-win. Sadly, these beasts have fallen by the wayside over the past century or so, except for in Austin, apparently, but they use friendlier mercury vapor lamps in them, so they only get half points. Now, anyone who's been around a baby long enough knows they always have a cloud of ghoulish stench hovering around them. Jeez Louise, somebody better air out that musty little muskrat before Grandma starts drooping again. You could stick him on the clothesline for a while, but knowing that little moron, I'm sure he'd find a way to hurt himself somehow. Introducing the baby cage. Finally, city dwellers all across the nation have a way of unleashing their postnatal funk on the unsuspecting passerby below. These were in vogue for a while before falling out of style a bit of the way into the 20th century, because apparently society started deeming babies more valuable than air conditioners. I don't really get it personally, but this is also around the time we started putting lead in gasoline, so it's probably for the best we kept them inside all day. Matter of fact, it's my firm belief that without kids growing up breathing lead, there's no way pet rocks would have taken off in the 70s. Wow, alienating baby boomers. He's so brave and controversial. Now, in the days between the Great War and the not as great but still pretty alright war, people were trying to find efficient means of detecting an incoming air attack. They climbed their nation's tallest mountains to seek the wisdom of their greatest elders, and the wise men said, big ears. So that's what they did. These giant discs were known as acoustic mirrors and were designed to focus incoming sound over a 5-meter diameter into a single point. They were reasonably effective as listening devices. A few of them in Britain were able to pick up the sound of a plane from all the way across the English Channel. Of course, radar came along soon after, rendering these things completely useless beyond looking brutalist as hell. For real, instant album cover material right here. One of the Pep Boys is pulling a Spanish Inquisition on this poor wayward harlot. What? Just kidding. Despite the fact that this looks so very much like a state-of-the-art instrument of torture, it's actually just a beauty micrometer. Think those shoe size measurer things at Foot Locker, only instead of one primitive measurement, it records the entire topology of your face and skull at once. With this data, a trained cosmetologist would be able to pinpoint exactly what features of your head should be enhanced and reduced with makeup in order to achieve a maximum calculated attractiveness after you've paid for their services. Clearly this device must have been effective. After all, beauty is entirely objective. What, eye of the beholder? Check the name tag, buddy. Apparently, though, women didn't like being strapped into a bird cage and having their every minute flaw meticulously laid out in front of them. So this thing never really took off in the end. Next, we have the Umlauf. This was a device made during World War II designed to let infantry shoot around corners. It's like the Germans sat down and watched that part in Tom and Jerry where the conniving rat bends the gun barrel back at his adversary. They said, "Mein Gott." They came in a variety of angles between 30 and 90 degrees, and even came with a little periscope so you could see what you were shooting at. But as we all come to find out when we reach adolescence, cartoons are the arbiters of deceit, because these things would invariably break within the first couple hundred shots or so. And even when they did work, the rounds would fucking explode from the massive acceleration, turning a deadly bullet into an ineffectual spray of shrapnel. These were so ineffective that only the 30-degree model ever saw significant production beyond prototypes, and even that was very limited. Say, you ever look at regular mouse traps and go, not enough property damage? Well, check this out. Patented in 1882, it's the revolver mousetrap, brought to you by the makers of the snail trebuchet and the cockroach claymore. Thanks to the marvels of the modern era, all those tiresome hours of intense varmint slang can be outsourced to one little gadget on the floor of your kid's playroom. Now when you hear a gunshot in the middle of the night, you can rest easy knowing that one way or the other, there's one less pest for you to deal with in the morning. Boom. 1850. Steam locomotives are all the rage. You're in the transport business, but all you can afford is a couple dumb horses. Sure, they move things from point A to point B almost as well at a fraction of the cost, but your cool rail riding friends called you a whack-ass and it really hurt your feelers. Well, have we got the invention for you? The Impulsoria uses an ingenious system of treadmills to turn that horse to be beckoned into a force to be reckoned with. Sure, it's expensive as hell to make and limits your services entirely to railroads, but just look at it. Instant Pussymobile. Slap some rims and a spoiler on that,
That
you're
couldn't
laughing.
go
This
much
machine
quicker,
is reported
surely.
at having a
Well,
maximum
cancer
output
is
of
much
2 to 4
different.
horsepower, which sounds about right, and it didn't see much use outside a couple exhibitions. Now, if there's one hobby that people in the past enjoyed, it's smoking. Whoo boy did they like smoking. And with every great wholesome activity
Kids
comes a
smoking.
million novelty items to go along with it. Everyone's seen the long cigarette, but how about the really long cigarette? Want to smoke in the rain? Here you go. Going snorkeling? Hey, you know what's more important than oxygen?
Oh, my
Nicotine.
word.
But hey, want to know the only thing better than a cigarette? 2 cigarettes. You know what? Fuck it. Have the whole pack. You earned it. Of course, if you're trying to cut back, you can always share with a friend. Aw, how heartburning.
Oh, my
But you know what's even
word.
more fun than addiction? High quality documentaries. That's why you should check out Curiosity Stream. From the face
Oh, there
behind
you
the
go.
Discovery
Time
Channel,
for
Curiosity Stream lets you stuff your little meatuses full of all
sponsorship
the bizarre
thing.
knowledge the world has to
Curiosity
offer. And
Stream.
with over 20
Yeah, go for that one. Yeah, there's some wacky ones in there. No more than the gun. I love the curved gun. That was a classic.
The gun mousetrap was a bit scary, wasn't it?
That's weird. Could you imagine the simplicity of someone's mind? Say, yes, put this mousetrap in your garage, or even worse still, maybe next to
Hide it in the corner.
in the corner of the room, or in the loft somewhere, and then you're asleep and it goes off.
You probably forget all about it.
At 3 in the morning, you think
Yeah.
someone's coming into the house. So,
The,
yeah.
the main thing I remember, the floppy disk, I mean, but he didn't cover
Right,
much,
didn't
so
really
was a
cover
shame,
that.
but-
That
It's
was
a shame,
well. That
really.
wasn't an obscure invention. I mean, that was used for well over a decade or two, weren't it?
was,
It was
yeah.
very handy, weren't it? A lot more
Certainly was.
handier than a mouse shut with
I
a
can
gun.
remember
yeah.
like Windows coming on, like I don't know how many of them, 20 of them. You had to keep putting one in, then put number 2 in. If it crashed, you had to go back
Really?
to number 1.
I don't know that one. No, that's bad, ain't it? Let us know your favourite dodgy ones from
yeah.
that in the comments below, them obscure inventions. But yeah, but no, like I said in the intro, subscribe, notification bell, because we'll cover more history here anyway, even if it's not from Salmonella.
Yeah.
But no, thanks for joining us. We'll see you all soon.
Catch you on the flip side.